Hey guys, Rich Lopez with the Drop Time Traditions podcast. I believe this is episode 146 or 47. I'm not sure because I'm banking episodes since I've got hunting trips planned for the next couple of weeks. Uh, my guest this evening is Mr. Randy Cooling of Safari Tuff. How are you, sir?
I'm very, very good. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, thank you for coming on. But before we get into the interview, let's recognize our supporters here. We got Stickbow Country Podcast and Stickbow Country Custom Arrows, Traps Feather Rests, Traditional Bowhunter Magazine, Sauk Trail Archery, StickbowSupplies.com, Whiskey City Trad Gear, WCTrad.com, Jessie Savage Blacksmith.com, and he's coming up soon on an interview. TraditionalJunk.com. So if you want an old bow, reach out to Kevin. St. Joe River Bow Company, theethicalpredator.com, um, and stickbowhuntsmx.com, and also Sauk Trail Archery, which I think I mentioned. At any rate, so Mr. Cooling, we spoke the other night. We get along very well.
Oh, you get along with everybody, don't you?
Well, I try to. My wife says I could talk to the dead. So
Yeah.
I kind of, yeah, I did. I was that way as a child. I was very inquisitive, asked a lot of questions to the point where, shut up, kid, you're bothering me. You remember
Yeah.
W.C. Fields, right?
Yeah.
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 I was,
I had a nephew. We'd be driving down the road. He'd sit in the back seat. All I'd hear is, Uncle Randy, you know what? Uncle Randy, you know what? Uncle Randy, you know what?
well, that sounds almost like a story I heard. I interviewed Scott Kelzer a couple of weeks ago,
Hmm.
and he mentioned about driving up to Canada with Gene Wenzel. And so these guys never got a word.
Oh,
Oh, no, they never got a word in edgewise, and you can't turn the radio on.
yeah, but it's a good time.
Oh, yeah.
I hog hunted with Gene and Barry down in Texas and
Okay.
stayed in the cabin with them, and it was awesome.
Now that
It
was
was
called,
just awesome.
didn't they call that the pig gig?
I think so. Yeah, it was quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
It was a really, really nice ranch, really good time, and of course, those guys. It takes nothing to trigger them. You
Oh,
know,
no.
anything you bring up, they can get right in and get right on. So
I,
it was unbelievably fun.
and I've told this story 100 times, but I'm going to tell it again because that's funny as hell. Because Gene still gets a kick out of it. And he sends me emails every once in a while saying, I can't believe you did that. I was dating probably the most beautiful Italian girl in New Jersey at the time. I think it was like they were doing their circuit where they were, just doing their thing at colleges and talking about and had heads up there and whatnot. And I think there was a whitetail seminar or some sort like that. And I'd been dating her about 6 months, and she knew that I was hot and heavy into bow hunting. She didn't care for it too much, but hey, that's life. I told her, I said, look, I got to go to Ramapo College to go see Gene and Barry Wenzel. They're my mentors, because we had been writing letters to each other. They would send me audio tapes, cassette tapes with advice on bow hunting. Because I'd write a letter, and then instead of them writing, they would just send me an audio tape answering my letter. I said, well, she goes, no, you can't go. We got a date this Saturday. We're going to dinner. I was like, no, you're going to hell. I got rid of her. And Gene to this day still laughs about it. He goes, I cannot believe you dumped a beautiful Italian girl for us. I said, well, that shows you how much I
Oh,
love.
that's
That
good.
shows you how much I love you.
Yeah, yeah, it's got to have your priorities.
Yes, absolutely. So, Randy, where were you born and raised?
I born in Iowa,
Wow.
in Iowa City, Iowa, and I grew up there till I think I was there till I was in my well, actually till uh 28 years ago, and I moved to New York to Syracuse for 3 years, and then now I'm out in by Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I live out in the country in the little town of Dexter, Michigan.
Okay.
So,
I hunt about, I think it's about an hour or two below Syracuse in Corning,
hmm,
outside of Corning.
yep, yep,
There's some big deer up there. Oh my God. But it's vast country, big woods, vast country. So,
yeah. It's that stuff's tough to hunt.
yeah, it is,
I mean,
especially
you
with a
gotta,
bow.
you, yeah. I've hunted it up in the UP. It's nothing but timber.
Right.
And I went up there with guys one time because I'm used to hunting more farm ground with funnels in it and stuff,
Hmm.
and it's a lot easier to narrow them down in that. And I went up there and I was went out and I'm thinking, what the heck? How the heck is anything going to walk by me out here? And I threw up a tree stand kind of along the edge of a kind of a thicket in the woods, and the first night, and a doe and a fawn come walking out above me and going out away from me. And I thought, yeah, just what I expected. How the heck? They can walk anywhere they want. And then they turned and came right down to me, and I shot the doe.
Okay.
But yeah, I guys that can do that and that are excuse me, successful in those big timbers like that, my hat's off to them.
Yeah, I mean, I got
Because
on. I was there a couple of weeks ago. I think we talked about this, but I was there for about 7 days. So around the fifth day, I started figuring it out. Like, these does keep coming out this one corner. That's got to be a major bedding area back in there in this one section. But I cannot hunt it until I have a specific wind, basically a west wind. So the west wind came in on day 5. I set up a ground blind up in there, and I saw the main trail. It was beat down, looked like a super highway. And I set it up, and like clockwork, here come the does. But none of them were mature. They were just small does.
oh,
But they came past me at like 6 yards. The wind's totally in my face. I never moved. And I was like, okay. The next day, or actually that same night, it was dark out. We came back out later on when it was dark, and we lit up the field, and there was a buck standing there at that same exit route, just looking around. He was big. He was a nice 10-pointer. So I was like, okay, I'll see him during black powder. See if I take care of business then. Yeah, it's been a long time since I killed a buck. It's been a couple of years.
I hunted down that way. I hunted in Norwich,
Okay. Yeah.
which is kind of I think kind of east of there,
Hmm.
if I'm right,
Yes.
if I remember right. And I loved it down there. It's really hilly
A lot of like
and
definitely
yeah.
some real heavy slopes. The actual town that I was in was called Painted Post. It's
Hmm.
right outside of Corning. So it's just beautiful country. My hunting partner's nephew owns the land and it's just fantastic time. I hunted Maryland for so many years, but I did not re-up on that lease since a lot of the land got, I guess, ixnayed, if you will, or kiboshed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I've hunted out in Maryland for Sika deer.
oh yeah. You know something? I lived in Maryland for almost 40 something years and I never hunted sika in my life. How stupid is that? And that is some of the best
Yeah,
tasting meat I ever had in my life.
I went out and set up Safari Tuff at the Baltimore Bowman Club with some Maryland traditional archers, maybe or that.
Yes, and I do the t-shirt art for
Anyway,
them every year.
oh, and I made a lot of friends there. They were just super nice guys, and I went to their campfire at night, and uh, they invited me down to do that,
Mhm.
and just show me where to go and stuff. And I went. I just had a blast. They're tough little things to get, though.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
they're tough little deer to get. I've only shot one time at a hind, and it was a little closer than I thought. They're small, and I think I misjudged and just went over her back. But
You know
uh,
Gene Hopkins, correct?
mhm.
Yeah, he was there last week hunting.
Oh,
I think he's still there. I'm not sure, but yeah.
I wanted to get down there in October, the beginning of October, and then ended up running over in elk hunting in Montana and running
Hmm.
into October. So I didn't get down there because they're rutting the first couple weeks of October is when their rut is, I believe.
For the
And
sika, yeah, the whitetail, we're looking at
yeah,
Halloween.
they're later. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm still going to try and get down there. I bought all my tags and everything and that. So they went up. When I started hunting there, it was $25 for a deer tag for a non-resident,
Right.
and last year I think they jumped to 200
Yeah, well, you can
for a
thank
non-resident.
the what's the politically correct word I'm looking for? Um, you can our liberal governor. Yeah, the
Oh,
liberal. Yeah, it's all liberals now. So
yeah,
they're
yeah.
they think they can hurt us
Well,
by taking
I'm,
our pocket, taking our wallet.
yeah, I'm so used to tags going up everywhere, Montana, everywhere. I mean, it's gotten so expensive. The higher dollar tag you can buy in Wyoming to increase your chances of drawing is like $2,000 now for an elk tag.
I remember back in the 80s, I'd go to buy a non-resident over the counter and
Hmm.
just go antelope and mule deer hunting.
Yeah, yeah.
Now
I
I
started elk hunting in 1981 in Colorado, and we'd get a elk tag and a deer tag. I think an elk tag was $135 and a deer tag was 50. And we could drive out there, four of us at the time, and hop in a single cab pickup, one guy crawling the back, and we'd go out there and hunt for a week and get back. And I don't think you'd have $300 in the three or $400 in the whole hunt, going
right.
out there and
Yeah, those were the
back
good old
then.
days. Now everything's a draw now.
Yeah, and expensive.
Yes.
And when you don't know where you're going to draw or that, it makes it tough because you end up putting in for multiple tags,
Mhm.
and depending on the time you have off. uh, I'm retired from elevators. I worked on elevators for 42 years. So
Well, you just answered question
and
number 5. So
oh, sorry.
no, that's all
Yeah,
good.
and so I bought Safari Tuff the last year when I was retiring, and so I know back then, I had to schedule time off. I always had really good bosses, and I got a lot of time off and got it when I wanted it. So
Yeah, that
uh,
helps.
it was nice. Yeah, I can't say I had a great job. I really did.
How long did
But
you do that? How long did you do that?
42 years.
Wow. Yeah, I got a friend of
Yeah.
mine. He's probably 41 and he's an engineer. He's an elevator engineer and he travels a
Hmm.
lot, but he also has a lot of lag time where it's not a busy season for him. So
Hmm.
when he's not doing that, he's a drummer for a band. So he
Oh,
travels.
wow.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool
Yeah.
gig.
Yeah. Now, when you're a journeyman in the field, you're always busy. Come
Yeah.
around, it was always working. You're on call 24 hours a day and stuff. So
Hmm.
I was glad to get away. I didn't realize how ready I was to quit until I quit. And then it was like just amazing relief when
That's
I
kind of
quit.
where I'm at right now. It's like I woke up this morning, after a great weekend, but it went so fast. I mean, I did a lot of maintenance on the house and stuff and just housework. And I told my wife, I said, you know something? I could sleep till 10 o'clock. And she's like, well, why don't you? She goes, well, why don't you? I said, because if I don't, we're not going to make any money. She goes, oh, yeah, you got a good point. You better get to work. You know,
Yeah,
kick me
yeah,
out of bed. Yeah.
the problem. You got to work to make money is always the big snag in it, isn't
It is. Oh, and by the way,
it?
we talked the other day about your Super Grizzly, and
Oh, yeah,
I inquired about the decal that says Victor on it.
yeah.
Yeah, and I'm still waiting for a response. I will let you know once I get the response.
Oh, yeah. It's still got the sticker on it
But it's
in
probably beat
good
up.
shape.
Oh, in good shape?
No, the sticker I think's in good shape that's on it. This bow hasn't done much. This bow has never killed anything. I hunted with it the first year I got it, which was in 1974,
Hmm.
and but I only hunted that year with it, and then, but it's just from over the years, it's kind of beat up and stuff just from being hauled around, and
Yeah.
I don't know. There's no reason for it, and it's not terrible, but I just thought it was more a sentimental thing, is what I was talking to you
Well,
about,
I mean,
refinishing it and
if you ever
stuff.
wanted it refinished, brought back to as new condition,
Yeah.
I could work around decals. I can
Oh,
make them.
okay.
Yeah. So there's pretty
Yeah,
much,
yeah.
there's,
No,
other than building a new bow, there's pretty much nothing I can't do. So,
I that's what I hear, and that's why I wondered. It was.
yeah, it's a weird hobby of mine. It started as a hobby because when I was younger, I couldn't afford a brand new bow at the time when I got into traditional archery. I had my hand me downs for my family members. Nobody in my family hunted except for me. And how that came about was totally out of necessity because it's just growing up in New Jersey. And when you're a kid in New Jersey, you can get into some stuff.
Hmm.
And my sister started dating a guy that bow hunted, and of course, he comes to dinner the first night. My father's grilling him, hey, what do you know? And then so I said, I see my opportunity to get in there and say, so Bob, you bow hunt. What is that about? I saw a video with Fred Bear the other day, blah, blah, blah. He goes, you want to bow hunt? I said, yeah. And he goes, take your safety course and I'll take you hunting. And he's 82 years old now and he still
Hmm.
hunts the same property that we hunted, but he has a tree stand that's the back seat of his old Blazer. He's got a strap. He's got it strapped into an oak tree. So what he does is he climbs up into the seat and goes to sleep.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but he's more. He's just more. Just
No,
wants to.
I don't. I actually started. I'd have to say archery and stuff because of Boy Scouts going to scout camp,
Okay.
and that's what really kind of started me and got me into it. And then I remember you talk about Fred Bear. I remember in the 1960s, and I think it was even up in the late 60s, the wide world of sports. And that's where I
Yep.
got you'd almost check on it every week it was on to see if there'd be a Fred Bear
Well, that's how I
part
got
to it.
introduced to Fred Bear. I was probably 9 years old, watching Wide World of Sports, Kurt Gowdy, and
Yeah.
there's Fred Bear bow hunting polar bears. They couldn't show
Mm-hmm.
that video on national television today because it was like,
Oh, I
oh,
know.
you know. And I'm sitting
Yeah.
there, I'm
Yeah.
being ignored by my parents, so I'm just sitting in the living room at my grandmother's house watching. So I'm like, what? My mouth was open. I couldn't believe that this guy took this monster polar bear with a stick and a string, and yeah, I don't know. I heard he had to shoot a second one because the first one had to be killed with a shotgun or something. I might be wrong.
Oh,
So
yeah. Yeah. Who knows?
who
Yeah.
knows? So
Yeah.
you Fred Bear people out there, send me instant messages. Do not berate me online, because
Jeez.
I will find you. Uh, but that being said, so have you always been strictly a bow hunter, or did you do any gun at all?
No, I'm a bow hunter. I
Okay.
When I was a little kid, I'd do some pheasant hunting in Iowa.
Hmm.
My dad didn't hunt, but he did buy me a shotgun, and I'd go out and stay with friends and hunt. And he took me hunting. He bought a shotgun at a yard sale, an old 16 gauge Mossberg bolt action that carried three shells in the clip,
Yeah.
and it had a poly choke on the end, I think you call it,
Yeah.
adjustable. And that thing was terrible. You
Yeah.
couldn't hit
It looks like
nothing
it
with
looks
it.
like a Dixie cup on the end of the barrel.
Yeah, and you adjust it for improved, full, and there's another one. Full, improved
Improved.
cylinder.
Yeah, full improved
I
and
don't know.
yeah, oh shit. Now I forgot.
Yeah, but
Uh
anyway, that gun was absolutely positively awful. And I had a single shot 410 he got me that I'd grab before I'd ever grab that
oh yeah,
to
yeah,
go
yeah,
out.
yeah.
But because it had a full choke on that
Modified,
thing. So
modified. That's the word we're looking for.
modified, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I
Which
didn't even know what they were, or what they did. I just
right.
remember the gun.
I remember
And
patterning turkey targets, patterning. All right, full choke, boom, improved, boom, modified, boom. And I was like, I see no difference. It took its head off either
was it
way.
there?
You know?
I think this gun had a big hole in the middle of the
Yeah,
pattern.
yeah.
The way it worked, I think, because never could hit nothing with it. Like I say, I'd grab my 410 to go pheasant hunt before I'd grab that thing.
That's funny.
But other than that, no, I've never really. I don't think I've ever actually gone any. I've never gone anywhere on just a gun hunt.
Mhm.
My brothers got me to go uh, gun hunting with them one year in Iowa for deer, and I borrowed a buddy's shotgun that I knew was sighted in good and stuff because he knew what he was doing. And the very first drive, uh, three deer come running at me, and I dropped two of them. And I'd never even shot the gun or anything, and it did nothing for me. It was easy to it just I
Mhm.
had no excitement in doing it or anything. It's just the way I am. I
Yeah.
don't,
Yeah. I get it.
you
I got
know.
away from gun hunting for a little while during that period of the 80s and early 90s, absorbing myself in traditional archery. And as I've gotten older, when I got towards middle age, I started picking a gun up again. And
Hmm.
I just like hunting,
Well,
hunting, period.
yeah. With that being said, I drew a bighorn sheep tag in Wyoming. I don't know how long ago, 6, 7 years ago. It took 24 years to draw it,
Jesus.
and I paid a guide, and it was a wilderness hunt, horseback in, and I hunted 17 days with my recurve, and couldn't get it done. And the last day, I I used his rifle, and I shot a really nice ram at 525 yards,
Oh my Lord.
and it was, and I know it's not always like this, but it was the simplest thing I've ever done. I laid that gun down on the backpack. He had me dry fire on it 4 times, and then because I'd never shot one, and I mean, he adjusted the turret for the
Mhm.
windage, right?
Yeah.
Or that, or for the distance. What's that? I don't know.
Yeah,
But
no,
anyway,
you're right. You're correct.
that's for windage. I don't know,
Yeah.
but he adjusted everything. I just had to lay there, and it took me about 3 or 4 times. I'd start squeezing real easy, and maybe the ram would move a little, or one time it just wasn't going off. I thought I was pulling, and it just wasn't going off. So I got up on my knees and sat there a little bit and took a deep breath. And when I laid down, and I shot that sheep at 525, and I hit that thing. It was a 270. I hit that thing exactly where that thing was aimed, and it just dropped and come sliding down the mountain. So I was happy to get it. I'm not going to burn a tag and eat a tag that took 24 years to draw. And otherwise, if I could have went back some more of that, I would have went
Well,
back
I
if I
think
knew I.
the 24 years thing, that's the driving factor here. I
It
mean,
really
geez.
was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have to pay into this for 24 years.
Oh yeah, you got to buy points every year, and I think a point was like $100.
Oh my
You got to
God.
buy a hunting license and $100 point every year, I think. And then the tag was a couple grand for the tag, I think.
Yeah.
But to show you how, as far as doing that, I've been on 5 doll sheep hunts, 3 in the Northwest Territories and 2 in Alaska, horseback hunts in Alaska. I haven't drawn my bow, and I never got a sheep, and I could have shot sheep with a rifle,
Yeah.
but I'd never grabbed the rifle because I always thought, even because there's so many times that last day things come together, that last hour
Yeah.
things come together, and so as a result, I had no desire to shoot them with a gun. Probably a fool now not shooting one. Anyway, one of the hunts in Alaska, I never even saw a legal ram, but I got within 75 yards multiple times, and I was only really good to I was going to shoot to about 55. I had a good plan to aim in that out to about 55. So I
That's
was
a
waiting, and
that's a poke for a recurve.
yeah, but I was shooting well enough and practiced hard and had a good plan using the point and use a rangefinder there to know the distance and stuff to make that shot.
Mhm.
Um, but I never got that close. I was 75 yards. I think 3 times I was within 75 yards of sheep. One time a grizzly bear come running down and chased them off.
Ah,
Uh, the other times they just walked off. I don't know if they got our wind. They walked out of there and they couldn't get close again. Just like that bighorn sheep hunt. I got winded a couple times and spooked them. I got into 30 yards one time on that bighorn sheep hunt. The wind changed, got them. Another time, I sat on 3 rams, 3 shooter rams. I'm above them, and it was like, how far was it down, if I remember right? It was only a 20-yard shot with the rangefinder where they were. It was only going to be a 20-yard shot. I think they were like 35 yards or something away as line of sight, but it was
right.
only a 20-yard shot for the distance. And I had another sheep come running down into him, bust him out of there. I sat on another ram for 2 hours, and a grizzly bear came in and spooked it off, chased it off. I mean, just kind of bad luck like that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And same on doll hunts. I had troubles like that too, um, but I love it. I kept going and kept trying, And I know I'm probably, like I say, probably kind of a fool for at least not shooting one Dall sheep, grabbing a gun the last day and trying to get one. But for me, I just had no desire
Yeah, I
to
get
do
it.
it, and I knew I could come back and go again too.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
play it down to the end.
So I got a funny gun story for you. So a couple of years ago, I'm hunting this place. It's loaded with big deer. I mean, just phenomenal property. I was in no, I was in Eastern Shore of Maryland. My buddy and I got onto this property probably 3 years prior, and we just started figuring out. And I had some massive buck encounters. It was just great. So I'm sitting on the edge of the field. I want to shoot a doe, and my buddy's across the field, and he's in the stand. He's watching. We watch each other through binoculars. Give him the finger, the whole 9 yards. And I'm sitting there around 4:30, 5 o'clock, and out bust these does. It must have been 20 of them. Now there's 25. Now there's 30 of them. And they're all just basic does. And out comes this matriarch of a doe. She had to be 200 pounds on the hoof. I mean, she was a beast. And here she is standing broadside, 15 yards in front of my tree stand. And I got a muzzle loader. Edna, 45 caliber. She's a tack driver. Well, I never shot her. I ranged her. I put the scope on her, never shot her. So dark 30 comes, we get down, he comes across the field and he grabs me like he's upset. He goes, "Why the hell did you not shoot that damn doe?" I said, "The Packers are playing in 2 hours. And I don't want to fool with this deer because I'll miss the game." That was it. So
Yeah. No,
John, that's for you, buddy.
I've had intentions of shooting does before, and then it gets down to it. That's why I get. I don't want to mess with it tonight, or I had to be to work the next day, and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Always talk
Yeah.
myself out of it. But
Mine was strictly football driven. I just love NFL. So it just,
no,
I'm I'm a big sports nut. So, um, sorry, John. I'm still apologizing 7 years later.
I had a speaking of the guy getting upset not shooting. I was moose hunting in Ontario, and I had the guy set me up. It was a 2-on-1, and I was hunting with a guy I'd never met that just booked the hunt too. And the guide was sitting there with him calling, I guess, and he left me in another spot. Well, this young paddlehorn bull, and you could kill anything, uh, come by me and come by me like at 18 yards and
Oh man.
stopped. And I just let it go. Well, he went to them, and then they ended up spooking him, and he come running right back by me. Anyway, I stand up, and the guide's walking my way, and I held my hand up, kind of like two fingers, because those little paddle horns, a lot of times they'll kind of start forking a little, and I go, "Nah, just a small one," and that guy came unglued on me for not shooting that moose. I mean, he's screaming at me, "You better never ever," and cussing, and never say that I didn't get you on, because to them guys up there, a moose was a moose.
Yeah.
It didn't
Right,
matter.
right, right.
But and I said to him, I said, "Well, I really wasn't comfortable with the shot, and so I didn't take it." And he goes, "Oh, well," he knew I was lying to him, but he said, "Well, if you weren't comfortable, I don't want you to shoot." I said, "Nah, it wasn't a great shot." I said, "There's some stuff there or something in the way." I don't know why I told
Yeah,
him,
it
but
wasn't standing correctly. Whatever.
yeah, something, whatever you want to believe to make it not hurt.
Right.
I don't
Hmm.
know,
Now,
but
Safari Tough's been around since 2005. Yeah, you were
mhm,
in the elevator business for 42 years.
mhm.
Now, what prompted you or what motivated you to get involved with Safari Tough?
Well, I've known Ron Jenkins for quite a while,
Yeah.
and I was just talking to. He was talking about retiring. It was getting harder for him to keep help where he was at, and he was doing all the sewing himself, which I can't even imagine. And Denny told me Rod was thinking about selling the business, and so I called him up, and I don't know. I think it was the first time I talked to him. I'm not sure, but we worked something out, and I knew I was wanting to retire, and so we worked something out, and I took the business over and went down to his place and picked up some sewing machines and stuff. And I found a lady here in Michigan over by Papa Lawrence, and she does all my sewing. And they just she has a few people working for her too, and just they're just phenomenal. I think I've only I mean I don't know how many years I've had it now, maybe 6. I have a partner also now, Danny Villarreal,
Mhm.
and he lives in Salt Lake City. But and he handles a lot of he does the internet stuff, and he's doing all the shipping now out there.
Well, I'll tell you
Um,
right now, your internet is phenomenal because I was on the site today and
mhm.
I recognized a few old souls, old friends of mine. Marie
Yeah.
Sturgis and
Oh yeah.
Chris Perino, the old school
Yeah.
boy.
Oh yeah.
And I think Logan Glassburn is quite a lot of pictures of Logan.
Hmm. Yeah.
Logan's a
Logan's
killing
just
machine.
Logan.
He's a
He's a
killing machine.
shooter too,
Oh yeah, he's a
and he's a
killing machine.
shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked him to come
Yeah.
on, but he's burned out right now. So
Oh.
he says, "Yeah,
No.
I've done a lot of podcasts. I'm a little burned out. Reach out to me later on." I get it. I totally get it.
Oh.
Logan, I'm coming for you, brother.
No, it's Marie too. Boy, she knocks him down.
She's a killing machine. Yep.
Oh my God. I think last year she shot 7 or 8 deer and
Yeah.
3 or 4 turkeys, and with like 30 pounds,
Yeah.
30,
I ha-
32 pounds.
I had Ron Rothar here at the house where I interviewed him
Hmm.
here in the room with his
Hmm.
wife, and the Mistress of Death is her nickname. She's
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
knocking down some monsters herself.
Hmm.
But
Yeah. No. And I don't know. I wish that we get more women in the hunt, into hunting and stuff too. It'd be good for the sport.
I think we've got quite a
But
few right now.
the big thing is realizing they don't need to shoot a lot of weight
No,
to do it either. Marie won't shoot, pretty much won't shoot past 20 yards either. Normally she doesn't want to shoot past 15.
I don't
So
shoot past 15 because I stink.
yeah. So yeah, she's really particular about her shots and stuff. So
Mhm.
but she gets it done, in the end.
So, of the Safari Tuff items, I own some items from Safari Tuff through
Mhm.
you know wheeling and dealing, and I won a nice bag at the PBS banquet. What's your biggest seller?
Oh boy, it's been we sell a lot of arrows now.
We're going to
A
get into
lot of
that. We're going
arrows.
to get into that.
Yeah. And transformer bow cases. The binocular case has really taken off. Um,
I've got a few
oh,
just to tell you, I've
and
got a few. I've got a Vortex case. I've got a um God, forgot the name. I've got several binocular cases, and the binoculars never fit right.
well, the big thing for it, I got a drawer full of them, and that's why I created the vinyl cases. It's quiet.
Mhm.
It's quiet on the inside and it's quiet on the outside. There's no magnets, zippers. It's just there's
Yeah,
a
that's the thing.
hook,
Yeah,
and there's a hook on the bottom to keep the flap down tight. Um, it's just uh, uh, I had to give it back when I was designing it. I had to give it back for a couple weeks and grab another brand, and I hated it the whole time. Once you use mine, it's just, and we're selling a bunch of them this year because guys are catching on, and once
Mhm.
they get them in their hands and see how nice they are, how quiet they are, they're simple. The strap system's simple, basic on it, and that too.
That's another
I
thing.
didn't do
Yep.
a bunch of padding in that because if you sweat, that's just that much more to dry out to be against you. If it's cold, that keeps you wet there. So I kept it all with just pretty much just all webbing in that. That thing is so adjustable. I put so much strap material on it that it doesn't matter how big you are, this thing's going to fit for you. And
Yeah,
you might want to cut some of them off even in that, but you're going to be able, no matter how big you are and how big a coat you put on, there's enough material there. You're going to be able to make that vinyl case fit.
that would be one of my complaints is the strapping. because I put some of these on. I feel like I'm wrestling with a brazier. It's
Yeah.
like, oh my God,
Yeah. No, mine's pretty simple, but yet uh
effective.
just it is, and the way, and that's what I was shooting for when I did it. The other big thing we sell a ton of is Aeromaster back quivers.
Hmm.
And I redesigned it after I bought it from Rod. I redesigned how it was built, pretty much same size and everything, but some of the materials in it, and there's I put a D ring right above the hole on the bottom where the arrows go in and out. I put a D ring there. And what you can do if you wear a backpack is put a carabiner on that D ring and then clip it on your backpack, and you don't need the strap over your head.
Nice.
And it'll hang right down along your side while you're hunting, so you can get your arrows in and out easy.
Okay.
And we have another model of the Aeromaster called a Wingman, and it's got mollies on the backside and comes with 3 straps. And what a lot of guys do with two-piece longbows is buy our 2-piece longbow sleeve, put it in there, and then tie it onto that back quiver. Okay. And they transport them in and out, especially bear hunters. A lot of bear hunters have it where they got to have their bow in a case in Canada and they'll just pop their bow apart, pop it in there, tie it on the back quiver. And then it's all together. They go out the next day, they just grab their quiver, it's got their bow on it and everything. That's kind of how I got designing it. But I'd use it to put a jacket in it. If I get out and it warms up, take my jacket off for that.
Sure,
and transport it. And it's got a nice pocket, pretty good sized pocket on it and that too. Also, I made a padded strap for it. If guys think they want it. The pad on it is adjustable and held on with Velcro. So wherever you put it, it'll stay. The pad part of it will. It won't slide up and down. And what it's kind of nice for is probably maybe more. I don't use the padded strap myself, but we saw a bunch of them. It gives you a little more friction, so the thing doesn't move on you as easy or slide. But the one thing about it is you can grab the bottom of it and you can push it up behind you and have it more on your back, or you can grab the bottom. If you're going to go underneath some tree branches, you can grab the bottom and pull it up in front of you and make it go down so you don't catch tree branches on it and stuff.
Nice,
too.
nice.
So for guys that don't want, a lot of guys that don't want to use a bow quiver will use it, or guys will take it even on backpack hunts and they'll fill it full of arrows and their bow quiver so they can take extra arrows into camp and that and have them all made up and ready to go.
I mean, for the last 10 years, I stopped using a bow quiver. I just didn't need all that extra weight on my bow. But then as I got older and doing a little more traveling, I said, I need a bow quiver. So I put it back on there. It took me a while to get used to shooting again with a bow quiver on my bow.
Yeah.
Because it just offsets everything.
Yeah. Well, you got to retune your bow. You put a bow quiver full of arrows on, it totally changes your tune. Because anytime you add weight to your bow, you're going to need a stiffer arrow.
Yeah, exactly. And I did that.
It takes a stiffer arrow, yeah.
Because I'm only shooting 48 pounds. So I went from a 2016 to a 2018.
18, yeah.
Yeah, and I went with 170 grain Eskimos up front. Oh, that's a deadly combo, man. And yeah, it was badass in Mexico.
Have you ever shot carbons?
Yes, I'm shooting what are they? The traditional classics, whatever they are. They're very common. They're blems.
Traditional.
Yeah.
Traditional. Oh, you mean the gold tip blend?
Yeah. I get them cheap. Yeah. $50 a dozen.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I just wondered. I can't. There's so many guys shooting aluminums again. They came back out with them, and even with autumn oranges and stuff.
Yes,
and
that's what
all I remember is when they came out. Gold Tip came out with a good multi-layered carbon arrow. I never shot aluminum again because
so
they're just. I don't get it. I know a lot of guys. Young guys are telling me it's nostalgia, but
no. Well, I'll tell you, Brandy, that with me, It is a little nostalgia because that's what I started with. Autumn orange, XX75s.
Yeah,
When I
yeah.
had a job, I could buy them. But other than that, it
Uh-huh.
was game getters prior to that. And
Oh yeah,
game getters, yeah.
the green ones that wore
Yeah.
off. Yeah,
Yes. The green wore off and they bent real easy. So I was like,
yeah,
man, I
yeah.
need to get a job. So I got a job, bought some XX75s, the Jim Doherty's, the
Oh,
gray.
the gray naturals. Yeah.
Good luck finding those at a cheap price today. They're like 200 bucks a dozen if you find them.
Oh, is
Uh,
that right?
yeah, big bucks for collectors. Um,
Oh wow.
so,
I may have some. I'll have to look.
yeah. So Three Rivers came out with the autumn oranges again last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I
Yep.
bought 3, 4 dozen of them just to have them. Nostalgic feel.
Well,
Okay.
they're pretty cheap too, aren't they?
Thirty
Aluminum compared.
$37 a dozen.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So,
Holy crap.
and I'm not retired. I'm still making good money, but I'm becoming frugal. I mean, you
Yeah.
give me a coupon, baby. I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, you know.
I bought a bunch, okay, and I took them to Mexico back in February. And
Mhm.
I'm ashamed to say I missed a few animals, and but there's a lot of rocks in Mexico, and those arrows do not hold up on lava rocks.
No.
So I
No.
probably threw out half a dozen arrows while I was in
Oh
Mexico
wow.
before finally I figured out what I was doing wrong. And basically, it was calm down, brother. Aim, pick a spot,
Hey.
bam,
Yeah.
and then it started
Yep.
come. Then it started happening. There
That's
were
how I
dead.
tell
There were
everybody.
yeah, dead animals everywhere. It was great.
Yeah. Slow down. Slow down. That's the
Yes,
key
yeah.
there.
Slow your roll. Slow your roll.
Hmm.
So let's talk about arrows.
All
So
right.
Safari Tuff has a nice line of arrows. I was looking at them today. You have the
Hmm.
Taipan, which is very popular. The
That's
Cobra,
mine.
that's the Cobra. And then you have
Yep.
this old school, which I think is related to Chris Perino.
Yeah, we actually used the name because he was promoting that and stuff, and at the time, and he actually said, "Why don't you call them old schools?" He brought it up to me,
Mhm.
and I said, "It sounds like a good deal, good name from you know." And I said, "Tell you what, Chris, I'll use old school, and you'll never have to buy arrows." And he goes, "Oh, that's a deal."
Well, it's funny you say that because
So,
Chris and I
but
go back.
I had him test them. I got him some of the prototype ones right off the bat, and I had him go out and I said, "Go out, and beat these up and shoot them into stuff hard." And that we got to, and we did that with all our arrows. I had Denny Sturgis out of his 74 pounds take arrows out and shoot them off trees and rocks and stuff, and really beat them up and make sure they were going to take a good beating. And Denny actually shoots the Cobras now that
Mhm.
are the 3K woven carbon arrows. And they're a little bit tougher. I like the Taipans. They're lighter grains per inch, about a grain per inch lighter than the Cobras.
Okay.
And I like them. You put a knock collar on them and a point collar on them, and you can pretty much bounce them off steel plates and not hurt the arrow.
Wow.
You can cheer. I mean, we had guys doing it at shoots. I was giving them some, and they were going out and shooting the steel deer and bouncing them off. And they
Nice.
might screw up the point collar a little bit and bend
Yeah.
their points, but the arrows were making it. And not to say they're indestructible because they're carbon arrows,
Right.
and that and as you know too. I mean, a 250 carbon is going to hold up way better than a 700 carbon because the inside diameter is the same. So the only way you're getting a lighter spine is going down in wall thickness.
Right.
So as you go down, they're going to get, a little lighter, a little weaker, not only in spine, but not have that strength either.
So for a
But
guy like myself that basically hunts whitetail deer and hogs, um, 48 pounds taipans.
it depends on your arrow weight, what you like. I mean,
I generally like 10
you
to
know,
11 grains
yeah,
per pound.
per pound. Yeah. Cobras are going to get you up there easier. Um, and we have a stainless steel point collar for cobras now,
Okay.
and you don't really need the knock collar for that. Uh, don't have to. You can get them, but you don't really have to. But I really suggest using. We have a stainless steel half out too. If you don't want to use point collars and use the internal hit system inserts, uh, they're pretty good. That's what Denny uses out of 74 pounds, and he really likes them. And he has broke a couple, shooting them into rocks really hard and that, but he's so impressed how well they hold up. He's always telling me how good the arrows are and how well they hold up.
Good.
Marie shoots cobras. She's been blowing them through deer, not breaking them. Of course, if a deer falls on it or something, they're going to break probably, or that. But
Right.
because they're just tough. They're good. They're reasonably priced and tough for a good carbon arrow.
Sure.
And when you go to the page to look at the arrows, we have drop down boxes for an arrow build, so you can pick what you want for inserts.
Oh, that's
we
awesome.
we have a brass insert that I decided to come out with because so guys only had to buy one, and it's 100 grains, and it breaks off to 75 and breaks off to 50.
I saw that.
That way, when you're tuning, you have all pretty much the most common options. So, and then we have a 16 grain aluminum insert. Our point collars for our taipans only weigh 16 grains. The stainless point collars for the cobras, I believe, are like 32 or 37 grains, but they're a little bit shorter than the taipan ones too, which, and then the old schools, we have different, you can pick from, I forget what the aluminum is, like 19 grain aluminum, maybe something like that. Or we have a 50 grain brass or 100 grain brass. Also, the aluminum one is tapped on the back. So if you get the aluminum one, we sell weights that you can screw in to the back of the aluminum one to fine tune. We have 25, 50, and 100 grain weights that'll screw into the aluminum insert.
I was going to send Chris.
They're a 244 shaft though.
Okay.
The other ones are 204s. The old schools are 244, which is the 5/16 typical. Another thing about all our stuff, if you shoot half outs, if you shoot the old schools with the regular inserts in them, all our inserts are made to be particular to the spine rather than just having one insert and then having the carving overlap or be under. All ours are perfectly flush. So if you're ordering more inserts for them or that, you got to make sure you order the right spine because they're all made to fit perfectly on the outside diameter, to fit perfect on the outside. So
I was gonna send Chris Perino a message. Hey man, the old school arrows. I noticed that everything is old school with you. Are you on the Geritol program?
Oh,
he's no older than I am, so I mean it's a fun thing to talk about.
Yeah, no, he's a character. He's a good guy.
Absolutely. So you're a big time Black Widow guy. Why is that? Why them?
Well,
there's a million custom bows out there that are great. But
absolutely.
Why them?
I keep forgetting to see how long I've been shooting them. I killed a moose in 1991 in Alaska with a widow, with a metal riser one they made that had HF. We call it a skeleton handle.
Yeah,
how it was cut out. Yeah, and I killed a moose with one of them then. Well, I ran into Ken, and even before that, I ran into Ken Beck in Iowa at a bow shoot and shot with him, and got to know him a little bit. And then they had a dealer program for 2 or 3 years he ran, and I was the sporting goods company in town. I was just good friends with guys there and that, and I got him a pretty good deal on them and started buying them. Well, the thing that really got me is even having other bows, when it came down to hunting, I always grabbed my widow. I always shot my widow the best. And I always grabbed it. And I beat the heck out of bows. When Fast Flight came out, I put a Fast Flight string on a 70-pound widow that at the time they weren't even made for them yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I shot, I forget how many grains. I wanted to see how fast I could get an arrow to go. And I had them shooting 232 feet per second. So I had a light arrow. And I only did it just to see what I could do, but I couldn't control it. I couldn't shoot it well with that. But I just want, and I mean, I've shot light arrows my whole life, and them guys are always, it's been the joke between that and how bad I beat them up. But I just, and when it came down to it in the end, they're just really good people. Their service is just phenomenal. If you have a problem, they're all just great guys. And I knew Ken and that before I knew Toby and Roger and John, and got to be closer and closer with them. And I dry fired the 70-pound widow 6 times in 2 days. I sheared nocks off. And here's a quick lesson. I called Easton. They were G nocks, and I called Easton, and I told the guy, because my arm was beat up too. You know how if you dry fire your bow, how it goes funky, and
Mm-hmm.
my bow arm was beat up bad, and I'd had enough. And I called Easton. I said, man, excuse me, I don't know what's going on, but I get a real problem. I said, your G nocks are shearing right off. And he goes, okay, let's just talk this through. And I probably sounded a little more, a little more emotional than what I am right now. But anyway, he says, all right, let's just talk this through. You fletching your own arrows? I said, yeah. He says, are you cleaning out the bottoms? I said, yep. He says, what are you cleaning them with? I said, acetone. He said, are the knots in them? I said, yep. He says, the fumes from the knots are going up and deteriorating those. The fumes from the acetone are going up the shaft and deteriorating the knots.
Yeah.
It did. I went and changed every knock. I mean, he knew right off the bat what was wrong. He went right to it. So obviously I wasn't the only one that's called,
Okay.
And I went and changed all my knots and never had another problem.
Okay.
With them. But they were shearing right on. And he said, and you stand them up, don't you, when you let it dry? I said, yep. He goes, yep. Those fumes are going up in there from the acetone.
Oh, wow.
Don't clean them with acetone with knocks in them.
Okay. Wow.
So
I just learned something.
I thought
You schooled me.
Well, I couldn't believe it either, but I called him. How am I going to argue with him? I called him for help, right?
Right, exactly.
And I had no reason to argue with him because he knew to a T what was going on. So that's how susceptible that knock material can be.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. So what's your favorite setup bow and arrow right now?
I'm shooting a 60-pound G10 PMA. And
That's a heavy bow, heavy mass weight.
Yeah, I love it. It's dead when you shoot it. It just sits right there in your hand. Doesn't move.
Yeah.
I've always liked heavy bows. We used to back in the 80s and that we'd put big heavy stabilizers on them and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And build our own stabilizers and all kinds of crap. But and then I shoot. My arrow weight now is like, because I went up a spine, I'm shooting 300 taipans and 50 grain insert and 125 grain point, and then the point collar 16 grains. And I think my whole arrow weight's 510, 512, one or the other. I weighed them, but
what head are you
right
using?
in there. I was shooting I shot a couple animals this year with that Grim Reaper
Hmm.
Hades Pro 3 blade, and I got some inch and a quarter VPAs coming.
Okay.
I'm gonna mess with those. Look
Yeah,
like it, like.
Grim Reaper used to sponsor me, and
Oh, really?
they were some that was years ago, but they were deadly broadheads. I mean, what a mess
Oh,
they would make. Yeah.
they, oh boy, you got to watch handling them things because they
Yep.
come, they come sharp out of the package,
Hmm.
and the point that you got to be very very. I cut myself twice on them, just
There.
messing around. I got Kevlar gloves I wear at home
Hmm.
normally, and a couple times I didn't put them on. Oh, this is quick, and then slip and cut myself. So,
Yeah, I used to be a butcher years ago, so
oh wow,
I still have chainmail gloves. So that's what
oh yeah,
I wear those when I'm messing around with sharp stuff.
yeah. Oh, I wear. I mean, I go on a hunting trip somewhere. I take a Kevlar glove with me.
Yeah.
If I got to take my broadheads off to travel to fly somewhere, I'll put them in a broadhead box, and I take a Kevlar glove with me to put them back on. I
Oh yeah.
usually what I do, I number my broadhead, especially with 2 blades. I number the arrow and number the broadhead, and that way I can put them back, and they'll be lined up
Mhm.
back on the arrow.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, I got 2 Kevlar gloves even because I've cut myself pretty bad a few times. I cut myself one night in the hospital, and it's always at midnight. It seems like I'm going somewhere or something. So I'm doing something with arrows late, and I went to a hospital. Well, I got there, and went right in. It was in Iowa City, Iowa, and they took me right into Mercy Hospital, sat me back in the emergency, and I'm sitting there, and it's like 10 to 12 or something, and I'm holding my hand, and I don't remember where the cut is now, but I'm holding my hand and holding and keeping it, and I'm sitting there, and nobody's come. I'm the only guy in there. I mean, there's nobody back or nothing. I'm the only guy in there, and I'm sitting there and waiting and
Mhm.
waiting and waiting. Finally, at 12:25, I said to myself, "Whoever's coming has 5 more minutes, or I'm out of here. I'll just." And at 12:29, the doctor walked in. I'm sitting there looking at a big clock. At 12:29, the doctor walked in. He takes I don't know if I had a rag on or whatever, takes it, looks at it, and he says, "Oh, that doesn't look so bad." And he scrubs it and busts it open. It was stuck together. And he says, "Oh, no, we better put a few stitches in there." And I'm thinking, man, it was good till I came here. And so now I just use super glue and tape stuff together. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
that's
That's the best stuff
I
ever
start
invented.
yeah, I shot a muskox, and the guys were butchering the muskox, and I was caping it. And this is the first time I used super glue. And they're so hard to get that hide because the horn sweeps down alongside the jaw. And it's
Yeah.
so hard to get that hide cut out from under there. And it was always slipping. I had on a rock, and I'd lay my knife down and pick it up. One time I didn't lay my knife down. It slipped out of my hand, and I squeezed it into my hand and
Mm.
cut myself. And so I held it shut till I got back to camp, and then I super glued it up and duct taped it shut.
Yeah.
And I duct taped a couple fingers closed to hold it to where it was. It was kind of on the side of my hand. And got back to town. That was my second one. So I got back to town and Yellowknife, and like 2 days after I did it, I took it off, and then I had to redo it, and then it was good.
Mhm.
So that was my lesson to just use super glue from now on,
Yeah. I use super glue for everything.
and glue it up. Yeah.
So that's awesome. So what's your favorite game animal and why?
Oh wow.
Hmm.
I really, I really like hunting big bears. Um, I've killed a brown bear and a grizzly bear, really good ones. And I have killed a polar bear too. But probably if I had to hunt one thing every year, in that it'd probably be elk.
Okay.
I just I can't chase them quite as fast as I used to and keep up with them anymore. But if it'd be elk if I had a good place to hunt.
Yeah,
You know,
I get it. I get it.
a good spot, a good zone, or a good.
Yeah.
It'd be elk. If I had to just go hunt public ground, that used to be over the counter in Colorado, I wouldn't, I still do it every year because I can,
Mhm.
but that wouldn't be the one thing I'd choose.
Now, don't you have an elk population in Michigan?
Yeah, there is. Uh, Guy, it takes forever if you're lucky enough to draw a tag.
Okay.
I never even applied. I've lived here 25 years. I think I started applying the first and second year, and then
Hmm.
I just quit. It's kind of a weird. I hear the stories of guys getting them, and it's just kind of, I don't know. It's just kind of weird, the hunt sound and that.
Yeah, I
You
get it.
gotta find ground to get on, and I don't know. It just wasn't my thing, so I just quit applying.
Have you been to Africa?
I've been to Africa 6 times. Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
So
I
what
love it.
yeah, okay. So what about Africa for, let's say, somebody new to going to Africa? What advice would you give them?
I would call bow hunting safari consultants. Their booking agency. It costs nothing. The hunts are what they are. That's who pays them. It's the outfitter when they book somebody. You don't pay them at all, but they have really good spots to go. The last spot I went was in Namibia. It was free range, and it was a just a extra special place, good people, beautiful chalets to stay in that were kind of up on a side hill and looked over the valley, and just it's just a relaxing hunt. But the thing about going through them is they know every step. They know who to book the airline tickets through. They keep you up to date on everything. I mean, it takes away so much of the guesswork. They actually go over there. When Neil Summers was running it, he was over there every year seeing all the outfitters and
Wow.
checking out new ones. And that, I mean, that was his specialty, is booking hunts to Africa. And the new guy that, I'm trying to think of his name, but the new guy that's doing it, I've talked to him a few times, and he's Johnny on the spot and with good information. And I definitely, Denny and I've looked at going. Well, we actually had a hunt booked in Mozambique, and about 3 months before we were leaving, the government banned bow hunting, dangerous game.
Mm.
So we ended up not going. Um, but going through them, the place is checked out. It's going to be good. It's going to have good animals. It's going to have good service. It's I've gone every hunt I've used them that
Okay.
I've gone there. So that is probably the best thing as far as your equipment goes. Whatever you're shooting whitetails with is fine for shooting animals there.
That's
They
awesome.
do have they do have regulations in South Africa, I think, but no one ever checks nothing. They
Yeah.
have some regulations on bow weight and kinetic
Right.
energy and all that, but no one ever
And I
checks
think I think
anything.
it's all about revenue, more or
Yeah,
less.
it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you've killed four species of bear in the U.S. and
Mm-hmm.
which bear was the most rewarding and why?
Hmm.
I mean, we're talking big bears here. Kodiak brown bear, grizzly, polar bear, black
Yeah.
bear, you know.
My grizzly bear, my grizzly bear was the toughest to get. Um, the grizzly bear and brown bear are both tough. It can take a bow hunter 5, 6 times to
Mhm.
get one. It took me twice to get my brown bear, and I was lucky enough the first time to get my grizzly. They both made Boone and Crockett for the scoring period. So my brown bear was 9'6". Um, but I
That's
mean,
amazing.
both of them were incredible hunts. Um, Getting close to them and getting a shot, and they're just so big. I mean, and they're tough, and you're out in the open and trying to get close, and the brown bear was a little different in that we sat on a mountainside watching a river. And when the bear came down, we had to run down and get ahead of him in the stream. You know, we couldn't sit too low to keep our scent up high, and watching for a shooter to come down the river. And you'll see bears, but it's so thick with the alders and stuff down there, you can't get to them. You got to just sit there and watch them walk by. And you need one right in the right spot and that to get it done.
So danger factor, what's more dangerous, an enraged grizzly or an enraged brown bear? Or both?
Yeah, I would say it doesn't matter. Just depends what their temperament is. Of the bear, I hit my grizzly bear. I had to sit on a hillside. My grizzly bear went into some alders, and we're just out. We hunted grizzly bears from 8 o'clock at night till 8 o'clock in the morning, and we slept during the day because it was so hot. There was no movement.
A long day.
And so then and we were laying in camp, and a bear came through a valley below us at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And my guide screaming at me in the packer, grab your stuff. We got to go. We got to go. And I'm laying out there with my Crocs on, you know, out in the grass in the sun.
Yeah.
And get everything. And I head over, and they went ahead of me. I caught up to them. Well, the bear went in this giant patch of alders. And I don't know how my guide knew, but he's a bear killing son of a gun. And we went around it and got the wind right, got set up. And we were close enough, we could hear that bear rolling, sleeping in there, and he'd roll over. And you'd hear sticks breaking, and you'd get ready, and then nothing. And he finally, I think I sat there for 7 hours with my bow in my hand on that hillside, in the grassy hillside next to a little tiny tree. And I was range finding stuff and memorizing spots. And a bear walked out at about 30 yards, and I pulled up on him, and he turned and came right at us, walking. Didn't see us, just turned, and he walked right at us, and he turned to walk broadside again, and I pulled on him and I shot too high. I hit him in the spine, and he fell right to the ground and started rolling down the mountain. And I shot another arrow, and I thought I drilled him. The guy did too. He's yelling, "Good shot, great shot." And the bear went across the valley and up into a alder swamp. And we could see him over there setting up and moving and brush moving. And so we went after him. And there's a little more in between, but we'll cut to the chase here. We got into the swamp at the bottom, and it was pretty wet down there. But anyway, my guide grabs me, and the bear's coming for us now, popping his teeth. He's coming. The brush is busting. You know he's coming. I told my guide right before this, I said, "Look, Mark," I said, "if you got to shoot him, you shoot him. I don't want you hurt. I really don't want me hurt." And he says, "Randy, I'm not going to kill your bear." And he grabs a hold of me, and he pulls me in front of him, and he says, "You got to get ready." And I'm sitting there, and that bear comes through the brush, and he kind of drags himself with his front legs up through this brush, and I shot him right alongside the neck, and the arrow buried into him, and he just went bonkers, growling and rolling and died right there. And we walked over to him. We waited a little bit, and it just got really quiet. We walked over there, and there's a little mound there from something. And I got up on the mound, and I looked over, and Mark's mouthing to me, "Is he dead? Is he dead?" And he's not saying it loud, and I'm shrugging my shoulders, and I thought, you know what? I'm not going to let a dead bear hurt us. And I shot another arrow in him, but he was dead. And so that was pretty wild there for a little bit. You know?
I would say that's a pucker factor. Pucker factor.
Yeah. And I never even thought about it. I just kind of reacted and I will say any other guide I would have had would have shot that bear with a rifle. He wouldn't have given me the opportunity to even go over there. He would have got down there. The first he saw him up in the side hill, he would have blasted him, and it would have been all over.
Have you ever
And
seen the YouTube guy Billy Moles,
mm,
the modern mountain man? Check out his videos. That guy's amazing what he does with bears. Nothing with traditional archery, but it's insane the bears these guys are shooting. They're
yeah.
monster brown bears, real close encounters, great video footage. It's just and they're long videos, so you got to set some time aside. Uh,
Hmm.
but check him out. He's hunting in Maine right now with Hal Blood. He's a very famous Maine hunting guide that watches, finds a track, gets on it, and finds a deer and shoots it.
Oh
That's tough.
wow.
That's great hunting.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah,
Check it
that
out.
is.
Yeah, it's awesome. I did it years ago. I couldn't do it now. Um, so, who are some of your archery heroes, past and present?
Oh well, definitely Fred Bear. You know,
Hmm.
um, I tell you, Rod Jenkins has done a lot for me for my shooting ability and uh, me being able to stretch distances out and stuff like that.
Right.
He keeps it simple, and he coaches all over the country and into Canada, and I know he's been to Australia and I think New Zealand and stuff, but he has a very simple way of teaching people, and he can see the smallest things that you're doing to fix any little problems you got.
Yeah,
And
been dabbling with getting into some of this shooting stuff,
mhm.
and I need help. And I don't know which. There's like three guys. There's three guys to go to, and there's Rod.
Yeah,
There's
Tom Klum.
Tom, and the other guy, the former police officer.
Oh, how can I not say his name?
He's got a
Is it
goatee.
is it is it Frank?
No, I saw him the other day on YouTube. God damn it! Yeah, it sucks getting old.
Yeah, yeah, I know it. I know it. Uh,
Good looking guy.
gee.
He's kind of funny, but he's got this process. It's like, man, it's like,
Yeah, well, that's the way Rod is. Rod's got a simple 7-step process and he gives you things to work on, and it really truly is about as simple as you can get to make it easy for you to and Rod's coached a lot of world champions and stuff too, for IBO champions
sure.
and stuff like that. And they still call him, a bunch of those barebow people and stuff. And during a shoot, if they're having a problem or something, they'll call Rod and talk to him, just trying to maybe iron out what they're doing. Uh, the big thing is keeping the mental game. That's the hardest thing, is keeping the mental game
Oh man.
good.
Oh yeah, for sure. Um, Trying to find this guy. He's all over social media. You would think, right? Ah,
Yeah, I'm.
find a coach. Forget about it. Anyway, so yeah, there's just too much crap on Google. So,
Yeah,
so PBS is in India in 2026. Am I going to see you there?
absolutely. I've already taken care of
Yep, me too.
everything.
All I got to get
Yeah,
is my
I
airfare. So just that's easy. I got $100 round trip tickets from Spirit.
oh yeah,
So with that said,
yeah.
when you fly Spirit, guys, take your the padded tree seat, bring that with because those seats that they have suck.
That's I was just talking to the girl that cuts my hair today. She flies down to Florida to see her dad all the time. And
Hmm.
she says 2 hours is about all she can take on Spirit, she said, and
Hmm.
then she'll go with somebody else if it's more than a 2 hour flight.
Yes,
She said the seats even seem tinier and stuff.
they're
I don't know if they
tiny
are.
and they're not padded. So yeah, take your tree seat from Walmart. You know what the thick
Oh
one.
wow.
Yeah, and put that on your backpack.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
So I've
I
been.
only have like a 3.5 hour drive down there, or four
Oh,
maybe at the most.
fantastic! That's great.
So yeah, I'm glad it was there this year or this coming year too. That'll
Mm.
be a good time. I'm sure they'll have a great crowd there in that too.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, the 60th anniversary was insane. Um,
Hmm.
I just bought all my stuff early. I'm ready to go. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
today,
Well, I make donations and stuff for my booths
yeah,
to get booth space and stuff and
yeah,
meal tickets. I make plenty of donations for them and that.
awesome.
So that
We
so there'll
appreciate
be a
that.
whole bunch. There'll be a whole bunch of Safari Tough stuff down there.
Oh, I know. I love
Probably
it.
on raffles, or I suppose on
Yeah,
raffles, and that is the way they'll do it. I don't know,
yeah. I
but
mean, I'm into it. So I just, I buy all the raffle tickets, throw them into buckets, and mostly yours. And so, what's
yeah.
in store for you, Safari Tough, for 2026?
Well, we are going to have some new stuff coming out. Uh, Hopefully, we'll have it by Kalamazoo,
Hmm.
the Tradbo Expo there. Definitely, we'll have it to bring down to uh, PBS. We got a new arrow actually that we're going to come out with,
Mm.
and some ideas that for components and stuff too that are going to be a little different for them and that for our arrows.
So,
So
what would be the name of the new arrow? Any idea?
no.
Okay.
actually actually we're
The
just sending the artwork in. I don't want
the Mamba. Yeah.
to you're not far off, but we are gonna have for guys that are wanting to build a heavy arrow for like Cape Buffalo or that, we are going to get some 200 spine and
Mm.
150 spine,
Okay.
and we're going to have some big heavy inserts for them. And I hate giving up too much. I don't have it yet, but
I got you.
we are we are doing some things for the first of the year and looking at some other stuff too.
So
But
I saw I saw a
some of
pic.
this I know.
So I saw a picture on Facebook the other day of a guy holding a 7 foot Bushmaster snake stretched out.
Wow.
This thing, perhaps one of the most deadliest snakes in the world. Uh,
Bushmaster, it's
yeah,
called.
yeah, it's in South America.
Oh, okay.
Check it out. They are dangerous as hell.
Yeah. I
Apparently, if you get bit, you're going to die in 30 seconds. So, yeah,
Wow. Yeah, I'm not really that familiar with. I've been to that was in South Africa, you said?
South America.
America.
Yeah, and
Oh, okay.
Central America. Yes, the
Okay.
rainforests. Yeah,
Oh, okay. I've hunted down in Argentina, but I haven't there was really when we were down there, there was no but we weren't in rainforest hunting
right.
in
Yeah,
Argentina, we were
this is
and there
Brazil.
was really
Brazil
anything.
mostly. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
dangerous as hell. I mean, I'm a big
Oh,
snake.
wow.
I'm a snake guy, so I kind of
Oh,
look
really?
for I look for poisonous snakes at any turn because I'm kind of curious, but I don't get near just enough to take a
I,
selfie. Yeah,
yeah,
hey,
I mean,
hey.
I've seen spitting cobras in Africa, black mambas, green mambas. Um, uh, oh, Grub Matthews.
Hmm.
He had a spitting cobra come in a blind with him
Oh my God.
in Zimbabwe, and he shot it with his bow.
Okay.
And that, yeah, it was pretty. It was pretty. He actually shot it and thought he killed it. He hit it, pinned it down, and he sat back down. And he happened to look over, and the head was up. And and he got up and backed up, I believe, and it spit at him.
Mm.
And he shot it again and killed it. And he sat back down, and he was sitting in his blind for a while. And this tail dropped through the top of his blind.
Oh,
And he's sitting there and said, "Man, I'm just thinking I've had enough of this for the day."
yeah.
And here it was a rat. It wasn't a snake. It was a
But
rat
still, I would have give me
tail.
five sundowners right now. You know?
No, it was. And then the guide came and picked him up. When we went, actually, I was there when we went to pick him up, and they sent a couple of trackers in, and they got the arrows and got the snake and brought it out. And
Yeah.
the guide said to him, he says, "Are you sure you didn't get any of that on you?" And he goes, I'm positively didn't. And then he says, well, you didn't get any on your skin or you would have been dead.
Really?
So that's what he said.
Wow. Oh, because your skin would absorb it.
You absorb it. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I'd be immediately give me in a shower, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's
I don't know. But Grub was cool and collected
yeah.
about it.
Grub
He
Matthews.
wasn't.
I know that name.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so
Yeah. He's a
final
good guy.
so final question, Randy, for a young and upcoming bow hunter. I'm starting to see more and more of these guys because we're not getting any younger.
No, I
Uh,
know.
what is the best advice you would offer in their journey to become a proper bow hunter in the traditional archery community?
Get a coach. Get a coach.
Okay.
See a coach about your shooting. There's there's just I tell you, and I believe me, I know 55, 50 years of bad habit. You get bad habits those first 20,
Yeah.
25. They don't go away easily.
No, they don't.
And even to this day, I mean, if I don't shoot every day and work on my shot, they creep right back in
Yeah.
on me.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it seemed like for a long time, archers thought they didn't need coaches, or they had something against them or something. And I don't know what it is, but it just seemed like I don't know if it was stubbornness or everybody thought it was simple and why would you need a coach? But I really really recommend getting a coach to get you going shooting. Um, there are online things you can get.
Hmm.
There's Masters of the Barebow series. It's
Yep.
really reasonably priced, and Rod Jenkins is on all those. You can go to the Push Archery, and I think you can get like all 5 of them plus extra footage for like $80.
That's nothing.
No, no, not to learn like that. And then of course Tom Klum has a series on there. There is a series with Rod Jenkins has the Roots, I think, is on the pack,
Okay.
and him and Jimmy Blackman are on that one. And then I know there's some Joel Turner stuff on
That's the
there.
guy, Joel
Uh,
Turner, the young guy.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Joel's a good guy. I like Joel. Um, Joel, and then there's some stuff with Cody Greenwood about tuning.
Hmm.
Just it's a good place to, if it's hard for you to get away, and I get it because there's so few of them really barebow coaches, but uh, I really really recommend getting a shooting coach to learn basics, to learn good archery form.
Yeah.
You'll see guys that don't have good archery form that are very good, but that's just because they're very good. They do the same thing every time, and that's when it comes down to it. That's the key is repeating, repetition and doing the exact same thing every time.
Yeah, like when I
Um,
was in Mexico, it took me about four misses before I figured and realized what I was doing. It's like, stop doing that. And when I came to full draw, I said to myself, stop doing that. Stop. And my
yeah.
elbow was up and the animal came and he opened up his leg and bam, beautiful.
Yeah,
And,
how
and,
hard can it be, right?
right. And it was a 8 yard shot and the animal, it was a complete pass through and it actually deflated its lungs. So the animal went from this big to like, it looked like a credit card after after I shot it, and it's just
Oh
laying
my
there
god.
dead as hell. I was like, man, I can take a picture
Oh
of that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good hero photo, you know. So
No, well, no, but it's good. It's good to get out. It's fun. It's fun traveling and going to different
sure,
places. And
yeah.
I shot a Gould's turkey down in Mexico
Oh,
last
sweet.
spring.
Yeah, that's a big
Yeah,
turkey.
yeah, it was neat. I tell you what was a really good hunt is I've shot a couple oscillated turkeys down on the Yucatan Peninsula,
Oh yeah, the blue ones.
and and no beards. They go by the size of their spurs.
Okay.
They're kind of hard to tell from till you're there and you're hunting them a while and getting to look at them. They're actually kind of hard to tell the toms from the hens and the
Hmm.
at first. Um, a big tom is like 12 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. And they're neat. It's a good hunt. I got a great place to go. If guys want to go down and do it, I think you can go down there, hunt for 5 days, I believe. You stay in a fantastic place. The food was 5 stars. They got a swimming pool. There's a big wall around. It's like a, what would you call it? A big
Grotto?
compound.
Like a grotto?
Yeah, it's a compound. You have your own chalet you like to stay in, cabin that it's really nice, and it's like $3,500, $4,000 or something
That's
for a week
awesome.
for all that. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
you
awesome.
can fly. You can fly into Merida, Mexico, and then they'll pick you up and take you out to camp. You hunt out of blinds. One turkey I shot out just a ground blind they built, and the other one, maybe the other one was. No, I think the other one was in a pop-up blind. But I went a couple times, went back to back. I
Hmm.
took my wife. My wife's not a hunter, but she loved it there. She had a swimming pool, and she could read during the day and swim,
Yeah.
and we'd hunt in the mornings and evenings and that kind of stuff. So and that's
What
that's one of the harder turkeys to get. Is that if you're
what
trying
about getting them home? I mean, are you taking the meat home or
uh
just are you just skinning them?
not to me, but they skinned them and salted them, and we brought them back. You have to fly. This place actually gets a hold of the um, uh, United States. What do you call them? The Conservation
Right.
Commission for the United
Hmm.
States, and they'll meet you in the airport and check them in.
Okay.
So, and you got to fly to do that. I think you got to fly through Houston,
Yeah.
come from
Okay.
there up through Houston and that to do it, if I remember right.
Yeah. So you and
Um,
I talked about my Mexico hunts when we
mhm,
spoke on the phone last week, and
mhm.
that's with us. We have to fly United. I mean American, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have a thing where I have to check my javelina skull, but it's already been beetleized, if you will, so it's clean,
Oh, it's
beautiful.
clean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfect. So, and then
Hmm.
I bring it across, they check it and then tag it and whatever. And now I found out that Pope and Young is accepting entries for Javelina.
Yeah. Yeah. I was surprised, but heck, why not?
Well, yeah,
Uh,
my buddy Jerry got attacked by his. He had to put 5 arrows in it before he died. This thing was the biggest javelina I ever saw in my life. This thing was the size of a
I,
pig.
I know a guy that one came at him and he had on a leather arm guard that wrapped almost all the way around, and
Mhm.
the thing jumped at it or came at him, and he put his
Mm.
arm out and it grabbed the arm guard, and it didn't, but hurt him or anything. But
It'll do you up.
he ended up killing it. Yeah, yeah, the thing did get. I never had any trouble or had any problem with him when I was hunting him,
Nah, that's
but
awesome.
I'm sure you get one cornered, the right one,
Or you wound one. And I think
or
that's what
wound
happened.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he gut shot this thing and it was a little pissed off. So,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like Ted Nugent coming at you with like the volume on number 12 on the amplifier. Okay. So 5 arrows later, at any rate, Randy, I
Yeah.
want to thank you so much for coming on with me. It's been
No,
fun.
thanks for having me. You
Yeah.
bet. You bet.
I will see you in March.
Yes, sir. I'll
So,
be there.
folks, check us out, the Drop Time Traditions podcast. Please like and above all things, subscribe. Trying to build up the subscriptions here. Uh, I'm not going anyway. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. I'm like a bad disease. You're going to need penicillin to get rid of me.
What
So
what all platforms are you available on?
I am only on YouTube and Spotify.
Okay.
I have other platforms I can get into. I'm still learning that aspect of it. So, because I know a lot of people have iPhones, but if you have internet, you can still get the Spotify podcast
Well, I got Spotify on my
or
iPhone, but
and YouTube too. It's free.
yeah, I just wondered. Somebody asked me today, and I looked. I got Spotify and got you on there, but I looked on my on I for the iPhone one, for the iPhone
Yeah, it's called
platform. And
iBean or something. I forgot what it's called.
yeah, well, there's a Podbean also.
Podbean, that's it.
There's
Yeah.
Podbean, Spotify, and then the Apple one, the Apple podcast
Yeah.
one. And I
I
didn't. I looked on my Apple one, and I couldn't find you on there. And
I
so,
got to find a way to do this. It's just, right now I'm like shorthanded with people teaching me stuff. So it's like I'm
no, I
learning.
get it.
Yeah, I'm learning everything now. So my
I
wife,
get it.
our middle son decided to tell us today in an instant message, "Hey guys, I'm getting married in Vegas in March." Oh, now
Oh,
my wife and I are like, "Really?" Yeah, so we have a cruise in January, hunt in Mexico in February. March is the wedding,
PBS.
and then the PB. I was like, "My God, I might as well just
Oh,
retire. I'm
crap.
just going to retire. The hell with it."
Yeah, no time to work, right?
No, exactly. Luckily, I got time to take off, so I'm good.
Oh,
So
good.
I did some research today. She'll be happy. She's working right now. She works at Costco part time, but she'll be happy with the news I have when she gets home. So
Oh, oh, by the way, guys looking for us can go to Safari Tuff on Instagram,
thank you.
Facebook. We're on TikTok now, and safarituff.com gets the
Yeah,
website. And
yeah, got,
also me, I have Randy I think it's Randy underscore Cooling, but you'll find me at Randy Cooling on Instagram and Facebook too. And you can DM me, I'll answer.
or even
You
on
go
the
to
website, you could find your email address on the website.
my email address and my personal phone numbers on there.
Hey
So
now,
so far I'm taking it, but I am on the phone every day. Uh, but don't be afraid to call. One thing I'd rather have guys do, call if you're tuning, if you got multiple questions about the arrows, what arrow to get. I don't want to sit and type and go back and forth
yeah,
with
call,
10
call.
emails. Yeah. Usually you can fix things, figure things out. If you're worried about sizing a tab, setting up your tabs, going from glove to three fingers, three fingers under or split with a tab, just give me a call. I
Yeah,
really don't mind, and that's what I'm there for.
yeah.
So,
I must get a hundred instant messages every day about refinishing old bows and stuff like that. And I was like,
oh
dude,
yeah,
I said, dude, give me a call. I'm an old guy. I'm 65.
yeah,
I just call me, and I
yeah,
don't mind it. I have I work full time, but I have time for you.
yeah,
There's
exactly.
there's
I
that.
mean, yeah, I get you. It's just too much. A simple question's not bad,
No, no, it's all good.
but
Yeah.
yeah, if it gets too involved, I don't want to do it. I don't want to go back and forth and back and forth. So
So, folks, besides
anyway,
like and subscribe on YouTube, check me out, droptimetraditions.com. I'm on social media, Drop Time Traditions / Rich Lopez or just Rich Lopez. Uh, I'm not hard to reach. The FBI can find me. You can find me. Uh, but Randy, have a wonderful Thanksgiving, you and your family. Thank you so much for coming on tonight, and I really appreciate your time.
thank you so much.
All right,
Take
brother.
care.
All right, I'm going to log off here. See ya.
Bye bye.